Hey everyone, hope everything is going well. You guys know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH_sports. Follow me on my finance channel at AIH Finance. All right, I'm over here, and this is what hallsoffame.com, and this basically uploaded the Mastro court documents and investigation that was found. And the thing is that this is quite interesting. Yeah, this was a long time ago where the alleged shill bidding happened or the shill bidding happened. Now, was there hanky panky? That's for you to decide, right? Now, and you have to realize, like, yeah, Mastro was convicted. Now, the other people, that's where, that's your interpretation of how you want to see it. Okay. So there are some famous people today. And the reason why I want to look at this is because, I like looking at history, right? Those that do not know their history are condemned to repeat it. And we just went through a massive boom in this sports card hobby. So if this hanky panky was going down way before the last boom, you have to ask yourself the question, like, what actually happened on the back end of these auctions, right? eBay, I've shown evidence. Hey, there were many shill bid auctions, and I could prove it without a shadow of a doubt. Those unpaid auctions. Now, for the auction houses that are not eBay, well, it's a little different unless you do an in-depth analysis, like I believe the FBI and the U.S. government did. And, this document here shows individuals that we've heard of, right? So there's what Ken Golden, the consigner, right? This was 2007. Okay, this was what 15 years ago. So once again, just because his name appears on the list does not mean hanky panky went down. But we do know for sure that at least some hanky panky went down with the Mastro. Mastro did a lot. Doug Allen, right? All of those guys have been linked to things that the hobby doesn't really want to highlight. But we'll take a look at this, okay? So you see this, right? It says the consigner was Ken Golden, the shill bidder was Gabriel Abramovitz, according to this document, assuming that this document is not changed in any way, shape, or form, okay? So you see this pattern over and over again, right? Ken Golden, Daryl Abramovitz, okay? Okay, let's go down. You see this again, right? It all happened in what, April? Or a lot of it was April, right? Daryl, right? Ken Golden, Daryl, okay? And now, he's the winning bidder, and then someone else was shill bidding this, where he won. So that's something to note as well. You see more of it here, right? I could go on, right? Ken Golden, Daryl Abramovitz. Okay, I don't know who this Daryl guy is, but let's look at Steve Foreman and Dave Foreman. I think Dave Foreman is the guy that is some managing director of SGC, from my understanding. And the thing is that, I think one time Bobbles and I were going at in the comments section, and I basically said, "Hey, look, your bro Carlos, he's not going to cover PSA hard because he does, PSA Canada, right? He's not going to cover it as intensely as I will." And then he's like, "Well, he does an okay job." And I'm like, well, then I asked him the question. I think he got pissed. It was like, "Hey, look, are you going to cover SGC hard? Are you going to cover the issues of Dave Foreman and Steve Foreman? Yeah, it happened a long time ago, but are you going to cover them hard like I will? No." that's just the reality. Got mad at that, I think. But anyways, you looking at this, you see the consignor Dave Foreman, Shill bidder Steve Foreman. I think that's his brother. You see this, in 2008, right? Quite interesting, right? Now, once again, you know, these were documents from a long time ago. And once again, doesn't mean there's fraud going on, but, a lot of people are going to assume that. Okay. So this happened at the biggest auction at the time. This is what, out of the suburbs of Chicagoland. I think it was Palos Park, if I remember correctly. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong, or around that area. So stuff went down um, in this auction house, right? And then I wanted to play you Sports Card Radio's video. This was quite interesting. This was Ryan, right? He's been in the industry for a lot longer than I have, right? So this was really interesting. Take a look from our live stream a few months ago.
That probably doesn't get talked about enough, only because it's hard to find out. But I guarantee it affects all of us. Someone sent me the Mastro court documents, and I think there are a few in this industry that were named that Mastro case where they had an item and then it appeared that someone was shilling on behalf of them.
So that's interesting, right? So I think shill bidding is allowed in certain states. I think Florida is one of them. I think that's what Ryan was alluding to regarding the SGC thing. So that is really interesting, right? So what Ryan's saying is that, hey, look, there was there were documents that were destroyed, and this is what was uncovered, right, by the FBI. So just imagine how much hanky panky went down. That's what I find interesting. So now, more recently, it was this was something that I did not know too much about. I used to praise PWCC a lot when I first got into the hobby because I didn't know any better. And sure, there may be some people that work there right now. I think the real guy, I think his name's Adam. I really like his work and his analysis out there. So I'm not crapping on everyone at PWCC, but I'm looking at this was, I think, a story that Ravel was going to talk about, but then I think the lady died, Courtney Delorme, and Brent Huggins, however you say his name. This is a text message. It says, please grab the high bid in the DiMaggio. It looks too much like you're pumping the auction up. I had a few people complain you'll be outbid. I'm bidding in 1K increments like you asked previously. Cancel my bids if there's problem. I'm not doing anything 10 million other people don't do. There are many bids under the 1,000 amount. Let's not play the game. Just take the high bid. I assure you the bid will go higher. So that's crazy to see, right? Now, I was sent this the other day, and this was on Net 54 Forum 2017. And this is Brent Huggins' account, but I think it's Betsy who commented. And it is unfortunate that the previous thread was locked because, in our opinion, there's no reason to limit honest and thoughtful dialogue. We truly value the unbiased nature of the discussion board, so intentionally try to only chime in when asked, when needed. This will need this will be our only post on the thread. Many of you have raised concerns about the request that Brent made to Courtney that he placed another bid to become the higher bidder. The honest truth is that the request was made because he had not taken a place as the high bidder. We would have blocked him for string bidding. I don't know what that is. Show bidding. It was only a request to enable Courtney to remain allowed to bid with PWCC. It was an ill-advised in hindsight, but it hasn't happened before. Has it? Really? Really? And it won't happen again. It is absolutely not a normal request because Courtney is not a normal bidder. Courtney has been blocked completely from participating in PWCC auctions, yet we're closely working with him. Oh, so it's a guy. Okay. Maybe I messed that up. We're closely working with them to close a balance from previous purchases and consignments. Additionally, we are working to ensure that he's properly refunded for a recent purchase that unfortunately had a compromised PSA case and counterfeit card. After this refund is complete and balance is closed, our business dealings with him will be complete. So there is admission that, this was wrong on their end. So, it's just quite interesting. Like, you have to seriously ask yourself the question, with the Mastro situation, right? With documents allegedly destroyed, like, what happens behind these closed doors, right? Crazy amount of shill bidding. And I've heard that some of these auctions or a bunch of these high-end auctions from PWCC are not being paid. I have to do more digging on that. And there's some other things out there that I've been told. So you're looking at this, right? And I'm looking at, okay, if I want to buy cards, right? Even if they're not like the high-end cards, like how many of them are actually being shilled? That's a legit question. And I prefer dealing, like, once again, like low-end auction. Yeah, they could be shilled, but people are, I know, I'm wise enough not to like overpay for like a low-end card. Looking at the bid history, looking at, are these zero review people as well? But the high end, I still want to avoid. If there's a buy it now feature, then I would look to that. And I only want to get involved when, a whole system is under pressure, everything crashes. That's when I want to buy. People will be forced liquidating cards. There's going to be weak auctions. That's what I want to look at. And personally, once again, I want to do the buy it now. And there will be people that sell buy it now because they're sick and tired of people shill bidding their cards and people aren't paying. So it is what it is. I think that you need to know the history of it. Hobby Shark was talking about it, how many people, they do not understand history. And once again, those do not know their history are condemned to repeat it. This is Santayana who said this. And you have to know this. A lot of people's like, oh, don't talk about it, don't talk. Yeah, you need to talk about this, right? Or you need to know about this because for me, like I said, I don't want to touch the high end, even once I have to stop paying for these repairs, and I'm in a, where I could just freely spend more money on cards. I'm not going to be throwing, ridiculous amount of money in these auctions because I frankly don't trust them, right? I mean, unless, everything is burning down, I could take a risk. But right now, still, is this moment, I still want to focus on the low end for now. Anyways, guys and gals, let me know what you think. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below, guys. Thank you. Bye.